So I first came to China in 1979 when I was an undergraduate student in college. And I immediately took an attraction to the area, to the country, to the beauty of it, to the magnificence of Beijing, but also to the very troubled past that had existed in China. So right before I came here, you had the Cultural Revolution, you had a lot of things going on that were very difficult. And I was lucky enough to see how Chinese people were able to pull themselves up after that and create a new China that I understand that people are very proud of, because it has achieved a great deal. And if there is one word I should use to characterize this new China after 1979 or the late 1970s, it's development. It is how quickly China has changed. Because when I first came here, I didn't think that China would change that quickly. I think it would take much longer for China to come up to the level of development that it has today. So that is my first impression of China. It was a very poor, it was a very backward country. And from then on, China has been able to develop overall in a very positive direction. And it's important that people pick up on that. So there could only be one winner in the Cold War system. China is a very open country in terms of outside influence and giving off of its own wisdom to the rest of the world. But in the middle part of the 20th century, for historical reasons, China had ended up being much more closed off. So I wanted to write this book for two reasons. I wanted to show how China's long-term relationship with the rest of the world had developed, and what were the key issues in that relationship. And then secondly, I wanted to show how China had become transformed inside through its encounters with the rest of the world. So this is not just about foreign affairs, it's not just about international relations. It is about how Chinese society, Chinese culture, Chinese economy domestically have been transformed in this international setting. And to me, the most important thing that has taken place is this new openness that China has shown since the late 1970s or early 1980s. It's been incredibly important for China itself. Young people in China today grow up in a very different kind of atmosphere with very different kind of ambitions and dreams because of that openness. But it's also strengthened China. It's made China into a much more important country internationally. And for China's future, I think that's perhaps the most important thing to discuss among Chinese today, is to figure out how is China going to make use of its new position and prominence and power. And I'm among those who hope that China will use that in order to work with others and integrate them better, so that we get better international trade regimes, we get more exchanges in terms of how young people can travel and study and do various kinds of things, that we get a more secure region where some of the big problems that exist in East Asia can be resolved through Chinese initiatives.